All right, folks, it's May 11th, Mother's Day 2025, and I heard that the moms wanted a little XRP pump. Well, we got one for you. And in this video, we're going to talk about big orders being filled on XRP, something very interesting taking place when we take a look at these order books. You guys aren't going to want to miss this one. But I do want to start out by giving a special shout out to all the moms in my life and out there fighting the good fight. We really do appreciate you, and we couldn't do it without you. I'm truly blessed myself. I shared this one here on Twitter, the hanging baskets that I picked up for the mothers in my life. Very special ladies, whether it be my rock star wife, my mother-in-law, my mother, and my grandmother. I got them all taken care of here with some nice hanging baskets. And that fuchsia up here in the top left, that fuchsia is a monster fuchsia, and I'm going to be giving that one to my grandmother. But it was like 2 feet tall. That picture doesn't do the justice, but picked up some great hanging baskets, and we're going to take care of them. And I'm just excited here to celebrate the moms in our lives today. It's going to be a good time, and especially the fact that we got XRP. You know, they like hanging baskets. I should have gave them some XRP, huh? Guys, check it out. It's going to be a big week. Let's take a look at it. Kobesi letter with the summary. April CPI inflation data is coming out on Tuesday. That's going to be a big one. Watch for the volatility around that day. OPEC monthly report on Wednesday. Oil prices, big volatility have already arrived there. April PPI inflation data, wholesale producer price inflation. We'll check that on Thursday along with retail sales. And Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaking on Thursday as well. Michigan consumer sentiment data on Friday. Market also awaits the outcome of this weekend's U.S.-China trade talks, which I did hear conflicting reports. I heard that the Chinese delegation got up and walked out of the room right as negotiations started. That's one way to negotiate, right? You throw out an offer and then you leave the room, you walk out on them, right? My mentor, Dan Pena, says when you do that close, you need to walk out, and even once you get to the parking lot, do not turn around. He says you just keep on walking. And he has a great story about how he was doing a deal in Israel, and the people that he was negotiating with, they actually got him back out of the airport. Not only did he walk out of the room, he walked out of the building, out of the lot. He was already at the airport, and they came to pick him back up to go close that deal. So I don't know how the negotiations are going there. Obviously the Trump administration coming out and saying that negotiations are going great. We saw the same thing with the quote-unquote peace deal ceasefire. I guess it wasn't a peace deal, it was a ceasefire in India, Pakistan, that development there too. But that only lasted about an hour, and then it popped off again. So, is Trump just continuing with the art of the deal bluff, saying that everything's, going great? Meanwhile, there's probably maybe a lot more to work out before this deal gets done. But as soon as the market gets the sign that China deal's done, that's the big one, we're off to the races again like never before. Now, continuing on that, this is why we're staying locked in and as bullish as ever. This is the son of the president, Eric Trump, confirms that President Trump has pledged to make crypto tax-free in the United States, doubling down on this. Quote, in America, they've waged war against cryptocurrency. They've sued everybody. They've gone after them using the SEC. Now, I've talked about this in the past, how Ripple shares a special space with President Trump in being attacked by this bureaucracy beast, a weaponized Department of Justice. It's all part of this bigger beast system that we're up against. And so President Trump, while eating beef bourguignon with Stuart Alderati and Brad Garlinghouse, they have something in common, right? It's so interesting, though, how they stay silent. All we've heard from President Trump, no acknowledgement of Ripple like they even exist, but XRP is going to be in the strategic reserve. And I want you to listen closely because I retweeted this post, and I said, listen very closely. He doesn't say Bitcoin going into the treasury. He says crypto going to the treasury. So despite what the Bitcoin bros have been saying, it is not going to be just Bitcoin going into that strategic reserve. Listen in here, Eric Trump speaking in Dubai.
Those institutions who have waged war on cryptocurrency. Guys, in America, they've waged war against cryptocurrency. Make no mistake about it. They've sued everybody. They've gone after them using the SEC. They've waged war. They've tried to tax them. A person who pledged to add crypto to the United States Treasury. A person who pledged to make crypto tax-free. I mean, think about all these incredible things.
Pledge to bring crypto to the treasury, not Bitcoin. Maybe we'll include some Bitcoin. I guess, might as well. We have a little bit, but we're going to include crypto in the treasury and crypto tax-free. And the big news came out this past week, the SEC publicly acknowledging that they're going to be folding their hand at the poker table with Ripple on the other side, SEC and Ripple coming to a settlement agreement. They've formally put forward that letter. And now we just wait for Judge Torres to sign off the injunction. A couple more court filings. This case is going to be officially over here soon. So not only will President Trump and Ripple have something in common in fighting the good fight, but also being victorious against the weaponized beast justice system. Now, what we're looking at right now, the bottom is in. The bottom has been in. We called it back at $1.70. We were wrong. We got that tariff liberation day was worse than expected, and we went down to a new low of $1.60. But that just provided a great opportunity for those to pick up. And a lot of people that were calling for $1.50, $1.40 for XRP didn't realize how many people were going to front run that move. And that's why we only went down to $1.60. People are catching on here and understanding if we think XRP is going back to about $2, you place your orders at 205, 210, and you don't get greedy. And so that's what happened. And we got bought right back up. XRP up over 50%. Back above $2.40 over the weekend. I think it topped out at about $2.48, somewhere in there. And so approaching this $2.50 level, and I got an indicator here from BC Backer that's interesting as well too. The 1-day time frame breadth indicator just flipped to the on position. It doesn't give insight into short-term momentum or if prices will correct sideways for the weeks ahead, but what it has done for the past 5 years is confirm the bottom being in, including last September. So we have another indicator here that tells us the bottom is in. Are we going to still chop sideways for a bit? Maybe, but we are, we have seen the worst of it and we are going to move higher. And that's only going to be driven faster when more trade deals get signed, more peace deals, the big, beautiful spending bill that they're talking about, crypto regulations, more ETFs and, catalysts specific to XRP, ETFs, case ending, etc. Big partnerships in the United States, as the OCC has now said, banks in America can, custody and use, trade, cryptocurrency. So it's game on. And I said this last week, that the crypto fundamentals couldn't be more bullish, yet retail is still in disbelief. And I've seen this on the order books, the open interest, the rates are cheap because people just don't believe in this rally. This is a hated rally right now, a disbelief rally right now. Now, this is Dom who points out something very, very interesting here. He says, I am now tracking aggregated net flows per trade size on XRP. So we're watching the order books, we're watching the inflows, the outflows, but specifically here, we're looking at the trade size. There's been an interesting dynamic over the last few days. Orders between 10,000 and 50,000 XRP have seen the strongest net buying, along with orders over 50,000. All while orders between 100 to 1,000 XRP and 1,000 to 10,000 have actually seen net selling. So the little fish have sold the rip and bigger money has been behind it. To reiterate my point, there's a lot of disbelief in the retail space, and the retail space is getting suffocated by inflation that has not gone away. Yes, it's trending lower, but it's compounded aggregate inflation. Our life is twice as more expensive as it was back in 2019. It's just that simple. Twice, if not 3 times more expensive when it comes to some things. Retail's squeezed out. Retail's in disbelief. Meanwhile, you see it right here. I mean, this is a very interesting data point to consider. While the little fish are selling out, little pump, let me get out, let me take a little profit here. Whales, big orders, 10 to 50,000 XRP, strongest net buying, along with orders over 50,000 XRP. Imagine picking up a bag of XRP right now. 50,000 XRP, let's stuff it in the bag and let's keep it moving. I mean, these guys are moving in heavy. And this isn't even institutional buying that's happening over the counter with Ripple, right? In the dark pools, that's OTC over the counter. We're not even talking about that. You're just talking about guys that can cut a check. 50,000 XRP, yes, please. 10,000, 25,000 XRP, yes, please. Put it in the bag, please. And those orders are getting filled. And this is why XRP just pumped up in a massive way here to recover. Big red candle coming, or not even a big red, little red candle coming in. This is what happens after you rally so hard right here, right? Very common to see a little pullback after we, just steamed on up here for the past few days. So on my chart right here, you see that we did rally over 53%. I'll get that out of the way. Now, what you're looking at right here is my updated XRP timeline and targets. You can see that my purple box was filled here. This was the end of end of April. We started to set this target and predict that we were going to have downside action into the Fed meeting, which is this yellow vertical line right here. And sure enough, we warned about CPI release April 30th, got that dip. And then we said it's going lower into Fed day, got that dip. I picked up my order, XRP Coinbase Futures 213. I'm in big profit on that one as XRP pushes all the way up here to 248. Now, I noted to my Discord, and basically I updated this chart, updated target, updated events and timeline here that we're following. And I shared the full breakdown with my Discord group. And I warned that we would have resistance at 250. And that's exactly, we got cut off right at 248. That was expected. But I said, if we can break through 250 with strength and momentum, I got a fib here at the 618 and the 702 at $2.71 and 286. So I do see us going into this range. And I see that taking place. Now, this vertical line right here on May 22nd, we have a couple, SEC needs to respond to 3 spot ETFs. That would be Canary Capital, 21 shares, and Grayscale are due for responses on this date. That could be a buy the rumor, sell the news. So watch out for that. And then we also have coming up at the end of May 27th. What was that day? I can't remember now what that day was supposed to be for. I'm blanking on what this day is, May 27th. But anyways, I broke down this chart with my expectations, taking us into the end of May 27th here. And, oh, that's the new moon. That's the new moon. Yeah, we got a full moon coming up here on May 12th, and then a new moon coming in right here. And before you guys think that I'm absolutely crazy, I'll show you the correlation here. New moons have been marking tops. Full moons have been bringing bullish energy in for XRP. And this correlation has come in since November, basically right at the end of November, December. We started to see this correlation. So I know people think that the moon phases is woo-woo and crazy, and sure it is. But I'll look at any indicator, I'll look at any correlation. This is all about pattern recognition for me. So we got a nice top right here on this new moon. We're coming back down, clean it out by the Fed. But that full moon's coming up on May 12th, and look at that bullish energy already came in, looking for it to continue. And we'll watch to see if we can break above $3 or at least get close by the end of this month. That's my prediction, is $3 this month, and then looking at maybe moving up towards an all-time high $4 XRP next month in June. So that's the quick notes on my summary. If you guys want the full breakdown and update that I provided for my Discord group yesterday, you can sign up on my Patreon and you can sample the Patreon Discord weekly calls. I have the recordings available there. So if you just want to try it out and watch one, it's available there for $5. You can buy it. Otherwise, if you just want to join us in the community, you sign up through Patreon to get access to Discord. We would love to have you in there. But I just want to make this point once again, too. You're seeing retail's in disbelief. Little fish have been selling off. Meanwhile, orders between 10 and 50,000 XRP coming in aggressively. Orders over 50,000 aggressively. And if that's what's happening on that scale, what do you think's happening behind closed doors with the institutions that Ripple's talking to? Do you think that they're doing some aggressive buying of XRP as well, too, maybe? Now that the injunction's going to be lifted and the SEC Ripple case is going to be over, there might be a few more deals getting done there. Yeah, it's time to lock in, folks, because it's about to get very, very bullish here over the next 30 to 60 days. I think that we see an all-time high for XRP. So if you guys appreciate what we're doing, make sure you are liking these videos, helping us out by sharing them out far and wide. God bless all the mothers out there. Let's go take care of them today. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to go start cooking, making some breakfast here. Appreciate your support. ZachRector.com. We'll see you tomorrow. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.